Jnanatimirandasya Jnanandana Salakya Chakshuramitam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravato. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, let me first of all welcome you all. Thanks a lot for coming from far and near, wherever. And we are taking shelter of the scripture when we are assembling here. I mean, I know it's a whole effort to come from far, spend so much money, and people think, should I really go? Is it worth it? I've been going so many times. Yeah. But it is actually solidifying our relationship, and as such, it's valuable. It's something to somehow or other honor. I also do that for many years, somehow or other honor this, and my spiritual master always reminds me it's our duty, and he's like, serious about such things. It's our duty. Just as when I first sort of hinted that I was interested in initiation, he let me know, as good as God, which is sort of the Shastric position. So yes, the mood of the spiritual master. When I heard that, I naturally thought about it for a moment, and especially rhyming that with the other point that was made, being an individual. Because we are individuals, and when I look at my spiritual master, he's different from me in many ways. He's the editor, and me, when it comes to language, it's a flexible thing, and I just say something, and then he says, "What do you mean?" Right? Then I put it in other words, and then he says, "Oh, you mean this and this," and he puts it again in different words, and then I say, "Yes, that's what I mean." In other words, I'm a communicator, and Maharaj is very precise and very much a man of the detail. I remember he had a timetable in India of Indian trains, and he was studying it for hours and hours, something I would never even bother to look at, it's too much work. But he studied the whole thing, and then discovered a train from Delhi to Jaipur, and from a station that I didn't even know existed, or I lived in the area for a long, long time, and eventually it was there was such a station, there was such a train, a Muslim train, and he loved it, because it was just departing at the times that he wanted to go, and the times he would arrive. And I said, "I'll put you on the super fast, like it takes only 3.5 hours. And this one was something like 10 hours. And he said, no, this is perfect. I just get to rest and chant my japa, and then I'm there. So he has a particular mood in regards to certain things that I totally cannot relate to be honest. Yeah. I'm very different. Yes, and I'm sure that some of you are experiencing the same with me. Here's this Kadamba Kanana Swami, blunt Dutchman as he is, and whatever comes with it, right? And some people think like, well, I could never be like that. So what does this mean to the mood of the spiritual master? I think what it means is that that whatever is important, really important to him, essential to him, that should also be essential to us. Not that we become cat copies of our spiritual master, that's the last thing we want to see. I saw once in Mayapur, I was watching on the roof, and I saw on the roof Shiv Ramaraj doing certain exercises which were obviously good for keeping the belly slim. Right? which makes sense for someone who's 60 or over, you know. And then I saw a 20-year-old doing the same exercises behind him, and I was thinking, totally unnecessary. There's no belly to be found. In other words, it's not about becoming exactly the same. It is about being different, but appreciating that the spiritual master is highlighting certain things on the way back to the spiritual world that are important to us. Not that we want everyone to approach these important things in the same way, because we're different natures, but still, whatever is emphasized as important by the spiritual master must be noted. Yeah, that's just one thought. Because I saw a bit of a dichotomy, you know what I mean? I saw a bit of like, well, individualism and taking on the mood of the spiritual master. I was thinking, how do you do that? But although I don't remember what Vyasapuja said about my disciples being individuals, I think that is logical, because we all are. Okay? We all are eternally unique personalities with our own unique natures and our own unique relationships with Krishna. And everyone has his own unique feature in serving Krishna. So if we just that, our own individuals, just like when I went out with Vaisheshika, super book distributor, he noted my techniques, you know, of like focusing on people that were already sort of stationary, rather than like standing in the middle of a stream and going for flagging people down, which is so passionate that I don't like it. I'd rather spot the people that are sort of slow, and I get them. So everyone has a different approach, but in the bigger picture, we do the same thing. We're serving within Lord Chaitanya's mission, because it's the Yuga Dharma, and somehow we're a little bit part of that. We're serving in Prabhupada's movement and trying to fulfill his desire, because he's the founder, Acharya, and these things are important to all of us. It's not that we can think that we can bypass certain things. Maybe someone is more attracted to Vrindavan and says, yes, I'll go to Vrindavan. That's very nice, but without, I've said many times, without going through the Prabhupada gate, what is our entrance into Vrindavan? We don't belong in Vrindavan, not by our karma. By our karma, most of us had really no reason to be there. Absolutely not. The only reason why we're there is because Srila Prabhupada interfered with our karma. And then suddenly we find ourselves Vrindavan. I thought like that, I had a similar thought when I was in Mayapur, in a holy place dedicated to Lord Chaitanya, and it was in a shed, you know, that was so run down, and with like walls that were like, looked so bad. I was thinking, in Europe I wouldn't even park my car in a place like this, you know. I wouldn't park my car here. Yeah? But there it is worshipped as the highest and holiest place and holiest abode. We would have never been able to perceive the holy Dham in that way, only through the eyes of the spiritual master. So we're seeing through the eyes of the spiritual master, and first of all, Srila Prabhupada, who is our link with our tradition, who built the bridge for us to, or the gate into Vrindavan. And like that, I'm thinking, we may have different moods. I'm thinking I I'm also speaking completely off the cuff, by the way, just like Kadamba. I didn't think of what will I say. But I was thinking about my days in Vrindavan and spending time with Ayendra. And Ayendra was always so absorbed in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan and Ras Leela, in the inner aspects of their exchanges. And on many occasions, he kind of brought that to my attention. Like, for example, the story I've told before, is that they were cleaning the temple in Vrindavan at night, and they were cleaning the altar, and one of the brahmacharis was very loudly calling out at the other. It was about 10:30 at night, and so I happened to be there, so I said, not so loud, come on, the deities are resting, not like shouting in front of the altar. And then as soon as I said the deities are resting, then Ayendra stopped his kirtan. He stopped his kirtan for a moment and he snapped, "No, he's not. That's what Mother Yasoda is thinking." And then he carried on with his kirtan. So it was quite an intermezzo. Now that was typical. That was Ayendra. He was always like, always like there, right? Always thinking about these things, Krishna's intimate dealings with the gopis, that sort of hidden relationship. Still, I think, if I think about Ayendra, I think that Ayendra's specific adhikar or the authorization for all that he did, I think that was simply that he did in Vrindavan what Prabhupada wanted. A 24-hour kirtan, and Prabhupada had told Hansadutta years before how to organize it, different shifts and so on. And Ayendra did that, exactly like Prabhupada said. The number of people, the number of shifts, he just followed that model and implemented it. And I could see, boom, the blessing came. Just right there, the blessing came. And I saw that he was one of the few people who got Indian citizenship from Vrindavan. And I was thinking, yes, blessings from Prabhupada, and then Krishna was pleased, and then Krishna gave me the blessings, you can stay. Right? And that's how it all came to pass, from what I perceive. In this way, I see all these different individuals. Vrindavan in our movement is so much the place of the individuals, not only in ISKCON, but all of Vrindavan. If there is water, I will take it. The voice is very dry. Yeah, I remember. We opened a bit left in the here. One Baba, for years, just had his whole face covered in chandan paste, and always. And it's not an easy thing, to live like that for many years, just a face covered in chandan or sandalwood. Right? I mean, it may be considered eccentric, but you can also see this person is very determined to somehow or other do this. Then we have the Jaya Radhawala who painted, he passed on, who painted Jaya Radha on every tree or on every wall. Right? Like this, we have individuals, and so yes, we have to use whatever we have in the service of Krishna, our particular ability. And if you have some talent, then one should use it. we should use that. If we have some Shakti, with each ability that we have comes a responsibility. Ability automatically translates in responsibility in Krishna's eyes, because we've been empowered in that way. So I'm also trying to live up to that. It's not so easy. Because sometimes I don't like my abilities, or I like other abilities than people like. For example, at the moment, the GBC likes Kadamba Kanana Swami, the manager, whereas Kadamba Kanana Swami himself doesn't like the manager so much. He likes the preacher much more, right? But the big hand of the GBC always pulls at me to do something in management. What to do? So, although we're individuals in relationship with others. One feature about individualism, if I stay on this theme for a moment, is that we are never isolated entities. Although we have a particular character, still in the relationship with different people in different situations, a different aspect of our nature comes out. It's like with my little brother, I'm the elder brother, it doesn't matter, you know, we may be in our 60s now. He's not yet, just now coming. But still he's my little brother. So we have so many different people bring out different aspects in us, although we do have a particular individual nature. Different situations bring out different features of us. So we are always closely in relationship. Therefore, although we are individuals, we should also really think about relationships. And that for me is a very important theme, that we somehow or other develop real Vaishnava relationships. For me, if I think about it, that would be another thing. It would be really nice if my disciples would have real, genuine relationships amongst each other. Genuine, positive, Vaishnava relationships. I think that would be something that would have power. Power for ourselves. That would be something that would nourish us, and that would be something that would attract people from everywhere, because the whole world is looking for that, is looking for real, genuine relationships. I have always looked for, in ISKCON, for friendship, for real friendship. I have from time to time mentioned a topic about colleagues, and that when we are in our movement, and we are a big movement, and then, you know, sometimes people say, you know, they see two devotees and some outsider says, is that your colleague, right? But if we indeed become like colleagues, then I think we are not really acting on the platform that we should be. I think really we should have very deep relationships. Deep, warm, personal, appreciative Vaishnava relationships, that we're genuinely happy to see each other. If that only could exist amongst my disciples, that would fulfill my dream. Of course, it's not so easy, and this one doesn't like that one, and that one doesn't like this one, and so many things are going on in the world, complexities. But my dream is one. Such friendship. Anyway, Prabhupada said utopia doesn't exist, right? So the ideal doesn't exist, and my dream may never come true. But I thought, still, it's helpful to share a dream, because that can maybe bring us forward. So, therefore this Vyasapuja is important from that aspect, that we can try and develop that spirit of unity, because at the end of the day, right, why would we be here in this movement year after year? Why would we stay? Okay, why? Why would we stay 10 years? Why would we stay 20 years? Why stay 30? Why even stay when you're old? Why stay? Why not just get a peaceful private situation and just, you know, let it be? Why beat your head on the rock? So many years. So many of us, as time moves on, can find many reasons why actually not to stay so much intimately involved in the Hare Krishna movement, and why to take a distance. We can find many reasons as the years go on, because it's not always so easy to live in a community of devotees. But I feel it's a challenge to create such a community of devotees that everyone wants to stay. And that's only possible if there is genuine friendship, genuine appreciation, and that's something that I am someone, I'll go on no matter what, you know. Yeah, I'll go on no matter what, whether they treat me nicely or not, doesn't matter. I'm going to stay, I'm not going. But Krishna's grace. But I have that kind of mood. I will not leave. But it would be very nice if there would be lots of really nice people. And that's what I'm actually looking for. And that I call genuine relationships, real relationships. I mean, we have the best, right? The best philosophy. The philosophy that actually makes things genuine. We're supposed to go beyond artificial relationships. The material world is the world where you have to wear a facade. The material world is the place where you have a hidden agenda. The material world is the place where you want something from someone, right, without really telling. In the material world, you can never have like a totally selfless relationship. But we have the philosophy that offers that offers a path for developing selfless relationships. So if we have that, then it should be possible to have amongst each other real, genuine relationships based on mutually giving to each other. We can sometimes say one must serve the Vaishnavas, means one must give the Vaishnavas. One must give the Vaishnavas facility, one must give the Vaishnavas space to do their things, one must appreciate the Vaishnavas, and so on and so on. And it's a whole thing. And many other things. Sometimes one must also, in friendship, walk up to someone and say, "What are you doing?" I mean, that helps. Even sometimes when a stranger does that. I mean, I've had a period in my life, I'm not going to describe it here today in detail, but where I didn't do well. I didn't do well. And just then, a stranger came out of nowhere. And that stranger said, "What are you doing with your life?" And I was so shocked because he was a stranger. And I go like, but you don't even know me. He ignored that and he said, what are you doing with your life? Well, that really woke me up. I mean, it sort of shocked me that a stranger said such a thing to me. Then I made a big change. Okay. Shortly after, I made a big change. That was sort of, that had an impact. So, yes, we must care for each other. We are together. So that kind of spirit I would like to see. I started 15 minutes late, so I guess the whole program is running sort of a bit late like that. 15 minutes. I'm just going by what my predecessors did. I hope that the weekend will be inspiring. I hope that sometimes it will be austere also. It's austere to sleep with so many devotees in a room, to wait for showers. And we hope there will be no showers in Amsterdam during the Harinam. You know, or if it's only showers, that's one thing, but if it's pouring rain, as Amsterdam is after all Amsterdam, and it can rain cats and dogs from morning to night, so a few prayers are welcome. But whatever it is, I was in South Africa in a Rath Yatra, and we were all in yellow plastic ponchos, and it was pouring. It was pouring and pouring and pouring. And I had to give the speech from the chariot at the beginning of the Rath Yatra, you know, to get like the devotees in the mood. Right? And I distinctly remember that I said that the rain of mercy is greater than the rain of water. And that principle certainly might apply to Amsterdam. The rain of mercy is what it is. So it's not just our party, it's not just our fun, it is giving out the mercy. Of course, for that I hope that there will be good weather so that the karmis will be in a good mood and that we can reach more people. But the real fun of Amsterdam is that so many people are somehow or other on that day looking for a party and they don't have it. And when they meet our party, they realize it, that we have a real party. And therefore they join our party and they chant, they laugh, they really sing the holy name. And they dance. And they're smart people, they're fast, so they pick it up, they can do it. They can sing along in the kirtan, it's not that they can't get the mantra, they get it. Yeah. No, I've been also in other programs where, you know, it turned into Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Hare, Rama, everything was mixing up. But in Amsterdam, they can chant the mantra, they got it. And they dance, hundreds of them, every year. So that's why this is so amazing. When I saw last year when we were in the tunnel and we were going like, things were going wild, I saw the faces of all those people, all those new people. I saw their faces and these faces were shining, and I knew they will never forget this for the rest of their life. Never ever, not possible to ever forget this. So that sort of made me think, okay, we're going to do it again. One more time. Even although Queen's Day turned into King's Day, it doesn't sound the same, doesn't it? Okay. Holland doesn't really want a king, I think. We'd rather have a queen, wasn't it? The king is sort of, who wants a king? But anyway, Queen's Day or King's Day, it's a great day. So thank you all for coming and helping me in that service. it's this one service that I feel obliged to do because I am from Holland, and you know, somehow or other, I don't do much for Holland, so at least once a year I bring a lot of devotees to Holland to do some preaching. So we got all the different preachers there again too. So thank you very much. So back to the MC and back to the next part. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Swami Maharaj ki